Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. So today, really quick, we'll talk about, you guys are obviously here in the clinic for right now, but you might be out on the field, you might be out on a ship or anything like that, right? So one common injury that I know that we talk about would be an ACL injury. And how do you determine if somebody hurt their ACL, or what special tests would you do, and then obviously any rehab that you might do until they can get care of their knees, okay? So, I know you don't have an ACL injury, but we'll be able to kind of do some tests that you guys can understand what's something you might be looking for. And then I have a little printout for you guys that kind of helps with ACL prevention. Okay, does that make sense? So first thing, if somebody comes to you and maybe you think they hurt their ACL, any words in their history that might help you think I should be worried about that? Heard of pop, great. Previous injuries, okay. What about, is it like I was just walking and I heard a pop? Maybe were they doing anything in particular? Anything that you think of?
Sports.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I know that so for the most part, the most common that we see here, people fall down the ladder walls. They are jumping and they land. A lot of them are non-contact, so it's not like somebody hits them and their knee goes in a funny position. Or, right, out in PT, I was playing football and I was slowing down and I heard a pop in my knee, whatever, okay? So certain things that you might think of like a trigger word almost that you guys would think, okay? Number two, go ahead and swing around and you can just put your feet down here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead and slide back. So a couple things too that you might see, right? He has full extension of the knee, right? Knee's fully extended. Go ahead and bend your knee as much as you can. Good. You've got good knee flexion, okay? There's certain degrees, we don't have to go into that. A couple things you might see, they won't want to fully extend. They're going to kind of have their knee in a bent position, okay? And feel uncomfortable when they extend, all right? So obviously, when you write down in kind of range of motion, like maybe they're stuck, you know, and you put -5 degrees or anything like that, all right? And then we'll go into these special tests really quick, okay? So major words would be I was decelerating, so I was slowing down and I pivoted. That's the kind of thing, okay, I need to think, and my knee shifted and I heard a pop. Or I was jumping down and my knee got stuck and my leg went one way and my knee went another way. Okay, those are kind of things that you're going to hear that you might think of, okay, I should check that ACL, okay? So there's two really the most common ones, okay? Go ahead and lay down, you know. And again, too, it's going to be hard because they might be apprehensive and they might not want you to touch their knee, okay? First one would be what's called an anterior drawer, okay? Anterior drawer, you're going to go ahead and bend their knee. And one thing I'll always say before you test their bad leg, okay, their injured leg, you say how bad, test their good leg, okay? Because sometimes people have just more laxity and that's fully normal, okay? So anterior drawer, it's not my favorite, but it's a little bit easier to learn, okay? So one would be, you're going to kind of sit on their knee. You're going to go in the joint line, okay? So you have the patella, and then you have the tibia and the fibula, and then you have your femur. So if I touch up here, it's kind of hard. You're going to come right in here again. This is maybe where their tibia is, it's hard, right in the middle. You want to hold. So see how it kind of feels like a hole right in there, okay? And then you want to cup, okay? And what we're doing, the ACL prevents what's called anterior translation, all right? What that means is you have your tibia, and as you pull the tibia forward, that ACL will prevent that. Does that make sense? Okay? So positive finding would be if you're here and you pull, and this leg comes forward more than normal. So always test their good leg first, and their bad leg, and then you'll go, and you want to have a nice strong pull, and you'll get a nice hard stop. Okay? So that's the first one, okay? This one, if they're in a lot of pain, they might be guarding and they'll be like, I don't want you to do that. So you go to pull it, they kind of tighten up their quads, they tighten up their hamstrings. So it's not the best test. But if it feels a little different, hey, maybe they have an ACL injury, okay? The second one is going to be called a Lockman's injury, or a Lockman's test. So you go ahead and relax your leg down, okay? For me, I always learn to put my leg underneath. You don't have to. Some people can kind of hold the leg and then pull, okay? So it's going to be again the same thing where you're going to apply some pressure onto the femur. You're going to kind of get your hand into the joint line, okay? Come here, and then what you want to do, go ahead and kind of relax your leg down. There you go. Make sure they're relaxed. You want to come here and pull forward and down, okay? It's not like you want a nice hard pull, And again, I'm moving that tibia forward, and if that ACL is not there, it's going to move. So someone should have a really nice kind of infeel. It should move a little bit because that's what it's made to do. Okay, you come here and down. Now again, he doesn't have a torn ACL, so he won't have that. Okay. One thing I can definitely say is it is hard because when you guys practice on each other, nobody really has a torn ACL, so you really don't know what it feels like. And the more that you do it, when you find those true positives, you'll feel it and you'll know, and you'll be like, okay. You'll think back that one time that you had it, and then you'll go to somebody and say, hey, it hurt me, I heard pop. You'll test it, and you're like, no, that one didn't feel like that one guy or one girl that really had that injury, okay? So those are gonna be two of the main tests. What would you do? First of all, get him moving, but that doesn't mean running. Work on that extension, okay? Because usually they're gonna be kind of in a bent position, okay? A couple basic exercises right away they can do because they're not gonna hurt their knee more, okay? Would be what's called quad set. So going ahead and putting your hand underneath and saying, okay, I want you to lift your toes and push your leg down into me. You'll see their quad fire, okay? It's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but I like to do 10 of 10-second holds. So they hold it for 5 to 10, depending on how they're doing, okay? Second thing you can do, if it just happened acutely, ace bandage that. You wanna control that swelling, okay? They might bruise too, okay? So start low, ace bandage high. You guys know how to ace bandage before? Okay, perfect. So start distally, go high, all right? And then working on heel slide. So a heel slide, very simple. They would take off their shoe, they would start to bend their knee, and they're just sliding their knee, okay? We're just trying to get motion back into the leg, okay? And then tell them, really limit, no pivoting. Because again, when they go to pivot, that's when that ACL comes into control, and that ACL's not there, and it's gonna kind of give out on them, okay? So that would be pretty much the most, I think those two special tests are gonna be the best, okay? Do you guys wanna practice testing? I know he's not gonna have a true, but you can try playing it. Try it? You wanna try it? Give it a shot. Yeah.
Both knees at the same time.
Yeah, why not? Awesome, yeah. Just pull that lower leg up. Any questions?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it feels sturdy, right? It's kind of, I wish that I had someone that didn't have.
Go ahead. If you fix my leg, doc, you're gonna fix it.
Push down. And this one, up.
Yep, and then you're gonna pull this up. Yep. So you feel how it goes up and then it goes back down? Okay. So someone that might have a torn ACL will kind of like go up and it kind of keeps coming up. Or, and you know how you get that nice stop and then it goes back down? With a torn ACL, it might kind of just go up and you're not getting that nice hard end feel. That's what we call end feels, okay? And then this really quick is just a lot of the injuries that I've seen for sure are non-contact, right? So is there anything that we can do in the meantime to prevent these things from happening? Because people are hurting themselves without really knowing, okay? So I kind of broke it up into 3 or 5 categories, okay? The first one's gonna be strength, doing your body weight exercise, your free weights, your resistance machines, right? You kind of know that in general, you guys do that for PT. But then plyometrics, we gotta work on jumping and landing, and if we're not jumping and landing, and then somebody goes and does that, they're gonna be predisposed to hurting themselves, okay? Then you have agility work, which is kind of using a ladder. And again, you can kind of use plyometrics and agility together, right? You can do a jumping into an agility ladder, all right? Working on balance is gonna be also really, really important. So while strength is really good, if they're not using, like we have those Bosu balls at the gym and things like that, when they do go to land and work on that balance, if they're not working on that, they're predisposed. And then last would be flexibility. So I really recommend doing like 2 to 3 times a week, 30 minutes minimum, but choose kind of 3 of the following exercises. And again, you can kind of work on balance and agility together. You can do some plyometric jumps, so jumping on a single leg, okay? So I think this is good, and it's been proven that, especially mostly more in the college setting, they've put their specific athletes on ACL prevention, and they've seen a decrease in injuries for people actually hurting themselves in tearing their ACL. Okay, awesome. Any questions? Cool, awesome.
Thank you.